May kilala ka bang ganito? Kapag may kailangan ng pamilya. Sige, ako na. Kapag may favor ang friend. Sige, kaya ko. Kapag may coworker na may emergency. Okay, ako na mag-cover. At kapag ikaw naman ang pagod. Okay lang. Kapag ikaw naman ang may problema. Okay lang. Kapag wala ka ng energy. Okay lang. Parang magic word. Pero here's the problem. Minsan, hindi ka naman talaga okay. You're just so used to being the person everyone can depend on na nakalimutan mong tanungin ang sarili mo. Ako naman, sino ang maaasahan ko? This is the story of Olivia. She was a breadwinner, a nursery teacher, a loving daughter, a supportive friend, and a caring girlfriend. Basically, kung may kailangan ng isang tao, Olivia was the emergency contact. Pero habang tumatagal, may isang bagay na hindi niya napapansin. She was becoming so good at taking care of everyone that she was slowly becoming terrible at taking care of herself. And this is where our story begins. Olivia worked at a nursery school. She loved her job. Every morning, she'd walk into a room full of energetic kids. Kapag nakikita na niya ang mga masasayang bati ng mga estudyante niya, parang napu-full charge na siya. Minsan gusto na niyang humiga sa sahig dahil sa pagod. Gusto niyang maglaho kahit saglit lang. But Olivia was good at what she did. She was patient, responsible, and dependable. Maybe too dependable, because outside school, she was also the family's breadwinner. Bills, Olivia helped. Groceries, Olivia contributed. Emergency, call Olivia. And because she loved her family, she rarely complained. She always told herself, kaya ko naman. But it wasn't just family. Her friends knew she was dependable. Her coworkers knew. Even acquaintances knew. Kapag may favor, somehow, Olivia's name would come up. Ask Olivia. Baka pwedeng si Olivia. Si Olivia na lang. And Olivia? She would smile, then say the same thing. Sige. Then there was Mark. Mark was a web developer. He spent his days coding, joining meetings, fixing bugs, and staring at screens. But whenever work ended, he made time for Olivia. And one thing he genuinely loved about her was her heart. He knew Olivia's family was her priority, and he admired that. One evening, they were having dinner. Mark looked at her.
Liv, may gusto sana akong sabihin.
Ano yon?
Hindi naman ito sobrang importante. I mean, curious lang ako. Ni minsan ba nagsabi ka na ng no?
What? Haha. O naman, bakit?
Kaylin?
Olivia suddenly stopped.
See?
Hindi naman ako people pleaser.
Talaga?
Oh?
Mark pointed at her phone. Her screen was filled with messages. Can you help? Can you cover tomorrow? Can you lend me? Mark raised an eyebrow. Olivia grabbed her phone.
Okay lang naman.
That's your favorite sentence. Pero what if one day hindi na okay? What if ikaw na one day yung hindi okay?
One weekend, Mark planned something special. Nothing crazy. Just dinner, maybe a movie, maybe dessert. He wanted one night where it was just the two of them. But that afternoon, Olivia's co-worker messaged her. Her co-teacher was going on vacation to Dubai. She needed someone to substitute. Olivia didn't even think twice. Sige, ako na. That evening, Mark sat at the restaurant, waiting. 5 minutes. 10, 20. He checked his phone. Finally, a message. Mark, I'm sorry. Hindi ako makakapunta. I need to cover for my coworker. Mark stared at the message. He typed, "Okay." Deleted it. Typed, "Again." Deleted it. Finally, "Okay. Ingat." He put the phone down and ate dinner alone. But that wasn't the only time. It happened again and again. Birthday plans, weekend plans, dinner, simple dates. Every time, there was someone who needed Olivia. And every time, Olivia thought, "I can always make it up to Mark." One Sunday morning, Mark finally said,
Liv, can I tell you something?
Sure. Tungkol saan?
You don't have to save everyone.
Huh? Saan naman nanggaling yon? Hindi naman ako ganun ah.
Yes, you are.
No.
Yes.
Mark, stop it.
I'm not saying stop helping your family. I know. I'm saying you can't keep giving everything away if there's nothing left for yourself. Your family needs you. I know. Your coworkers need you. I know. Your friends need you. I know. Pero Liv, kailangan ka din ng sarili mo.
Then came the day Mark had been waiting for. Handa na siya. The ring, ready. Flowers, ready. Location, ready. His friends, ready. His family, ready. Kahit isa sa kaibigan niya ay nagbiro pa ng, "Bro, kalma. Huminga ka." Mark laughed nervously. Sobrang excited siya. Because he wasn't just asking Olivia to be his girlfriend. He wanted to build a life with her. Finally, Olivia arrived. Mark walked toward her. Then, he got down on one knee. The ring box opened. Everyone smiled. Olivia froze. Mark looked up. "Olivia." But Olivia's first words weren't, "Yes." Instead, she said, "Mark, nag-usap na tayo tungkol dito, diba?" Mark's smile disappeared. Olivia continued, "Sinabi ko naman sa'yo. My family still needs me." Silence. Mark slowly stood up. And suddenly, the entire moment felt different, because he understood. Olivia wasn't just helping her family. She had convinced herself that choosing herself was selfish. Nag-usap sila ng matagal. There were tears. Nagsorry sila sa isa't isa. There were memories. There was love. Kaya alam nilang kailangan nilang palayain ang isa't isa. Dahil minsan, two people can love each other and still not be able to build the same future. Gusto ni Mark ng partner habang Olivia felt responsible for everyone. And eventually, naghiwalay sila. Olivia went home thinking, "I did the right thing." She told herself, "Kailangan ako ng pamilya ko. Mauunawaan ako ni Mark. Maybe someday." But life has a way of teaching lessons when we're finally ready to listen. Pagkatapos ng ilang linggo, Olivia came home after an exhausting day. She had spent the entire day teaching, then stayed late, then helped a coworker, then bought groceries, then paid a bill. She finally got home. Ang gusto niya lang gagabing iyon ay makapag-dinner, a shower, and sleep. Pero pagbukas niya ng pintuan, nobody asked, "Kumusta ka?" Nobody asked, "Nakakain ka na?" Instead, "Liv, may babayaran bukas." "Liv, kailangan ko ng pera." "Liv, bumili ka na nga nito tomorrow." "Liv, may kailangan ako." Another request, another demand, another responsibility. Olivia stood there, her bag still on her shoulder. She looked around, and suddenly, she felt something she hadn't allowed herself to feel for years. Pagod. Not physical tiredness. Something deeper. She whispered, "Ako lang ba?" Everyone looked at her. She continued, "Parang ako lang yung may kamay at paa dito. Silence. Then she asked, "Kailan naging responsibility ko lahat?" And nobody answered. That night, Olivia didn't cry because she was weak. She cried because she finally admitted she was exhausted. That night, Olivia sat alone. No phone, no messages, no requests, just silence. At sa unang pagkakataon ay tinanong niya ang sarili niya, not, "Sinong may kailangan sa akin?" kundi, "Anong kailangan ko?" At ang tanong na yan ang nagpa-realize sa kanya ng madaming bagay. Nagagalit siya hindi dahil lagi siyang kailangan ng mga tao. Nagagalit siya dahil nakalimutan niyang payagan ang sarili niya na maramdaman na may kailangan din siya. She needed rest, respect, time. Isang buhay na malaya sa mga responsibilidad. And most importantly, boundaries. That's when Olivia began learning 7 uncomfortable truths about people, boundaries, and reality. 1. People show who they are. Believe them. Olivia started paying attention. Hindi sa kung anong sinasabi nila, kundi sa paulit-ulit nilang ginagawa. Napansin niyang palaging trip ng coworker niya na i-cover niya yung shift nito. Pero never itong nag-offer ng tulong lalo na nung time na nilalagnat siya at kailangan niyang umuwi. May isa naman sa kaibigan niya na palaging kailangan ng pera. Pero palaging unavailable kapag siya na yung may kailangan. Napansin niya din ang mga madalas na litanya ng mga ito. Promise. Next time babawi ako. But next time came, at wala namang nagbago. Before, Olivia made excuses for everyone. Now she watched the pattern. Because one mistake, normal. Everyone makes mistakes. But repeated behavior, that's information. First time. Warning. Second time. Choice. Hindi mo kailangang magalit sa kanila, pero dapat kang maniwala sa pinapakita nila. 2. Silence is an answer too. Ang sunod na natutunan ni Olivia ay isa sa pinakasimple pero nagiging komplikado sa iba. Hindi na siya nagre-response agad. Kung dati pag may humihingi ng favor, automatic yes ang sagot niya. Ngayon naman ay iba na. She would pause. Put the phone down, think, then decide. Minsan, sorry di ko kaya ngayon. Minsan, hindi ako pwede ngayon eh. At kung minsan, hindi na talaga siya nagre-reply. Dahil natuto siyang malaman na hindi lahat ng request ay deserve agad ng access ng energy niya. Silence isn't weakness. A pause isn't rudeness. Sometimes, silence is simply you taking your power back. 3. Teach people how to treat you by what you walk away from. Natutunan din ni Olivia na ang boundaries ay hindi lang basta word, they're actions. Kunyari, sasabihin mo sa isang tao na, "Please respect my time," pero dinidisrespect pa rin nila yon. At sa tuwing tatawag sila, magpapakita ka pa rin. Sisiputin mo pa rin sila. So tell me, anong natutunan nila? Yung boundary mo ay hindi talaga boundary. It was just a request. Kaya binago ni Olivia ang action niya. When someone repeatedly took advantage of her, she stopped volunteering. When someone disrespected her time, she stopped making herself available, not with drama, not with revenge, just distance. Because what you tolerate eventually becomes the standard. Number 4. Most people aren't actually thinking about you. This one changed Olivia dramatically. Dati, palagi niyang iniisip na, baka sabihin nilang selfish ako. Baka isipin nilang nagbago ako. Baka magalit sila. Then she realized, masyadong busy yung mga tao. Nakafocus sila sa mga sarili nilang problema, their bills, their jobs, their relationships, their insecurities, their own lives. Yung nakakahiyang ginawa mo last Tuesday, baka ikaw lang ang nagre-replay sa utak mo. Alam mo ba na there's a psychological phenomenon called the spotlight effect? Ito ay isang uri ng cognitive bias o kaisipan, kung saan sobrang iniisip natin na pinapansin at binabantayan ng ibang tao ang ating mga kilos, hitsura, o pagkakamali. Parang may hawak silang malaking spotlight na nakatutok lang sa atin sa buong araw. Pakiramdam natin, halos 75% ng pansin ng mga tao ay nakatutok sa ating mga ginagawa, tagumpay o mga pagkakamali, blunders. Akala natin ay buong araw silang nag-aabang sa bawat galaw natin. Ayon sa data, nasa 90% ng oras at atensyon ng ibang tao ay nakatuon sa kanilang sariling buhay. Tulad ng kanilang mga problema, trabaho o cellphone. Kung mapansin man nila ang iba, nasa 5% lang ang ibinibigay nilang pansin sa pagkakamali ng iba. Kadalasan, kaya tayo nahihirapang magsabi ng hindi o kaya'y natatakot tayong magkamali dahil takot tayong husgahan ng iba. Pero ipinapakita ng spotlight effect na abala ang lahat sa sarili nilang mga kwento at problema. Kaya naman, huwag nating pabigatin ang ating sarili sa pag-aalala sa sasabihin ng iba. Mas mabuting ituon ang enerhiya sa sarili nating kapayapaan at kalusugan ng isip. Number 5. Keep your circle small, but solid. As Olivia became better at boundaries, something interesting happened. Her circle became smaller. Nung una, natakot siya. Wala na ba akong kaibigan? Then napansin niya din kinalaunan. Yung mga taong nawala ay yung mga kaibigan na kadalasang may kailangan sa kanya. Ang mga tunay niyang kaibigan, they stayed. One friend messaged, "Liv, kumain ka na?" Another, "Girl, rest ka muna." Walang favor, walang requests, walang hidden agenda. Just concern. And Olivia realized, you don't need 50 people who know your name. You need a few people who know your heart. One genuine friend can be worth more than 50 acquaintances. Number 6. Reciprocity is law. Nagdaan pa ang ilang buwan. Muling natanong ni Olivia ang kanyang sarili. Kung dati ay, sino ang kailangan ako? Ngayon naman ay, sinong nandyan para sa akin? Because relationships aren't supposed to be one person constantly giving. Hindi kailangan exact 50-50 every day. Sometimes ikaw ang 80%. Sometimes sila ang 80%. That's normal. Pero kung ikaw ang laging tumatawag, nagte-text, tumutulong, nag-a-adjust, umiintindi, nagbibigay, tapos kapag kailangan mo na sila, wala. That's different. That's not reciprocity. That's a one-way street. And Olivia finally stopped chasing one-way relationships. Kung umabot ka na dito, huwag mong kalimutang mag-subscribe sa aking channel. Malaking tulong sa akin ang iyong suporta, kaibigan. At i-share mo na rin ito sa mga kakilala mo na sa tingin mong kailangan marinig ito. Number 7. Some people are lessons, not losses. And finally, muling naalala ni Olivia si Mark. Naaalala niya ang sinabi nito sa kanya na, "Who takes care of you?" Nang mga oras na yon ang akala ni Olivia, hindi siya naiintindihan ni Mark. Pero ngayon, she realized, he understood more than she did. Hindi siya inuutusan ni Mark na iwanan ang pamilya niya. Ang gusto pala nito'y huwag iwanan ni Olivia ang sarili niya. At minsan, that's what certain people are in our lives for. Not always forever. Sometimes, they're lessons. They show you what you need, what you don't want, what you tolerated, what you should never tolerate again. So instead of saying, sayang, maybe sometimes we should say, thank you. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you for the growth. Thank you for showing me what I don't want anymore. Matapos ang halos isang taon, tuluyang nagbago si Olivia. Not cold, not selfish, not uncaring. Still the same kind woman. Pero ang pinagkaiba lang ngayon, mayroon na siyang boundaries. Kaya na niyang sabihin na, "Di ako free today. Ayoko pahinga ko ngayon eh. No, I can't lend money. I can't cover your shift this time." And she didn't feel guilty anymore. May mga taong naintindihan siya. Meron din naman na hindi. Minsan nagrereklamo sila. Minsan yung iba nilalayuan na siya. Pero natutunan ni Olivia na tapikin ang sariling balikat. at hayaan na lang silang lahat. Isang gabi, muli niyang naalala si Mark. She wondered, what if nakinig siya kay Mark? What if umuo siya that time? What if ibang way ang pinili niya? Eventually, she reached out. Gusto niya itong makausap. Maybe apologize. Maybe reconnect. Maybe simply say, you were right. But Mark had already moved on. He had a new girlfriend. And, apparently, cats. Yes, cats. More than one. Olivia laughed when she found out. She imagined Mark trying to work on his laptop while a cat walked across his keyboard. She smiled. But underneath that smile, there was a little pain. Because of course there was. She wondered, could that have been me? But this time, she didn't chase. She didn't blame him. She didn't hate his new girlfriend. She simply accepted reality. Mark had moved forward, and now she would too. Hindi na nabawi pa ni Olivia si Mark. She didn't get the future she once imagined. But she got something else. Something she had been giving away for years. She got herself back. She realized that loving your family doesn't mean carrying every problem. Being kind doesn't mean saying yes. Being responsible doesn't mean being everyone's emergency solution. And having boundaries doesn't mean you stopped caring. Sometimes, boundaries are simply saying, I care about you, but I care about myself too. And when Olivia looked back at Mark, she still had regrets. There were still what-ifs. But she was also grateful, because Mark had been part of her journey. He showed her something she couldn't see before, that she had been giving everyone pieces of herself, without saving anything for herself. And maybe that's what made their relationship meaningful. It didn't last forever, but it changed her forever. Kaya naman kung ikaw yung tipo ng tao na laging nagsasabing, sige, ako na. Maybe pause for a second. Ask yourself, gusto ko ba talaga? Kaya ko ba talaga? Or natatakot lang akong magsabi ng no? Because there's a difference between being kind and being constantly available. You can love your family without losing yourself. You can help your friends without becoming their solution. You can love someone without abandoning your own dreams. And you can say no without becoming a bad person. Remember this. Hindi lahat ng taong nagagalit sa boundaries mo ay taong nasaktan. Sometimes, they're simply surprised because the version of you they were used to finally disappeared. The version that always said yes, always adjusted, always gave, always understood. And maybe that's okay, because you're not here to make everyone comfortable. You're here to live your life too. So choose your people carefully. Protect your time. Protect your energy. And don't be afraid to walk away from relationships that only work when you are the one doing all the work. Because at the end of the day, your kindness should be a gift, not a prison.